So for that purpose, we have a clearly defined requirements engineering process. It's not the purpose of today's webinar to go through the process. So I'll just present this slide and another slide, and I'll move on to how to write great requirements. But following this process is absolutely necessary to write high quality requirements. Why? The first thing is that we will see that one of the biggest problems when writing requirements is that they are incomplete. So how can we guarantee that requirements are complete or that a specification is not missing a feature or function? Well, unfortunately, there is no way, there is no technique out there that can tell us, yes, this document is complete. However, we have several mitigation actions and steps. And the first one will be defining 3 inputs to our requirements engineering process. The first one being the scope. What is it that we need to develop and what's outside? Sometimes this is not easy. For instance, in the case of APIs or connections to other systems, you might have a question like, do we have to adapt to a standard, like a USB standard or a web services standard, or do we have to develop the integration and the actual interface? Or do we have to comply with this regulation or norm or law, or do we not? Those are questions that you will resolve during the scope, even though the scope can change throughout the project. But if we don't create a good scope, then for sure we're going to miss requirements. The second one is referred to the structure about how we write requirements, the types of languages that we're going to use, the type of documents that we're going to use. The third one, and also fundamental, the sources of requirements. Where are we going to go to look for the actual requirements? And many of the problems with the requirements are rooted in wrong sources of requirements. Either we're not asking the right people or we're giving them an authority that they don't have. So the 3 main sources of requirements: stakeholders, and this is a fundamental activity. Figuring out who do we need to ask for requirements is the single most important activity that we can perform in the whole requirements engineering lifecycle.